Alrighty. Sorry about that, a little late to the show, but that is okay, nothing to less, no worries. Was hanging out with everybody on the BNR side of things. We were chit-chatting, so we got a little confuzzled there and confused on the time frame here, but that is okay, nothing to less. We were having a great conversation over there, so Pocono, SRU Truck Series, unfortunately, we sit here again. Um, a tricky triangle, as they call it, Will. 3 turns. Turn 1, then you got the tunnel turn, and then you got turn 3. What turn 4? Unfortunately, there's nothing about that. You're the history analyst. I'm going to go over my race information real quick, and then I'll let you give the race details of Pocono and where it was before that. So, real quick, the race information, we're at Long Pond, Pennsylvania. It's a 2.5 mile track. Current track temperature is 89 degrees. The weather outside itself is 80 degrees. 52% humidity, is partly cloudy with a 10 mile per hour wind. They got 60 laps, 150 miles, unlimited sets of tires. Well, they got 2 faster pairs, 3 attempts at a green-white checkered, and 75% fuel. Now, Will, if you want to go over the history of Pocono, more power to you. The floor is yours.
Yes. Pocono Raceway, Pocono Speedway, however you prefer to call it. Been in existence, I want to say, since 1972. The creators of the facility wanted it to be similar to Indianapolis, but have distinct corners. That's why each corner here is a bit different, whether one has banking, one doesn't have really any banking, it's off camber really, and the middle is a bit, I guess you could say, it's hard. You would probably want to call that, say, like, back at... Anyway, turn 3 is more like Milwaukee, if anybody knows the Milwaukee Mile. Turn 1, similar to what would be a bank at Daytona in the turns there. So they just wanted it to be a mixture of a bit of everything in their eyes, and IndyCar was the first racing series to ever hold a race here, then followed by the Grand National Touring divisions of NASCAR later on, but IndyCar was the first. They used to have the 3 crown jewel races of that series, which was the Michigan 500, the Pocono 500, and Brian, if you can help me out here, I'm having trouble with it today, that rectangular track over there in... help me out. Yes, indeed. So they would actually, if you could win all 3 in the same year, you would be awarded bonus prize money. So that was really cool that happened back in the day. That doesn't happen anymore, but here's the starting grid for tonight.
P1 will be Paul Witt, P2 will be Zach Deuscher, P3 will be Jeff Gilmore, P4 will be Mike Chamberlain, P5 will be Chris Campbell, P6 will be Jason Adams, P7 will be Philip Bridgman, P8 will be Jason Caveen, P9 will be Danny Story, P10 will be David Cassidy, P11 will be Chris Brown, P12 will be Joshua Caldwell, P13 will be Jim Coleman-Sperger, P14 will be Paul Coheen, P15 will be Terry Degay, P16 will be Koshik, P17 will be Kyle Gooden, P18 will be Robert Cheswick. So 18 drivers here tonight, Will. I would say an okay, decent sized field, but nothing to less. I'm sure they'll give you good action along the way.
Yes, indeed. Action to be expected. Also to be expected, I do believe 21 to 24 laps on a full tank, depending on where the flags may fall. We'll see who may go a little bit further, but do you know when the race break is? I kind of...
No race break.
No race break this race. All right, that will be really intriguing. I would suspect it might have been maybe 2025, but lap 20 or 25. I wasn't trying to say a year there. Hopefully, if anyone
from
got
their
confused.
updated information, I didn't get no updated. They didn't send me nothing on that. And then I also went to their Discord and tried to look and see, and there's nothing there too. So, but that's all right. Who needs a stage break? Let's just do the full 60 laps in one shot. Hopefully that can happen. And
well, we have seen a few times that the SRU Truck Series can run caution free, so maybe it can be one of those races. But Pocono has a list of challenges, just not the 3 separate corners. It's got 3 separate straightaways, so you can kind of, in a way, get lost here in a daze. It may sound off, but just like racing at Indianapolis, for instance, it can almost feel the same type of vibe for some drivers. So just have to wait and see who can conquer all of the challenging obstacles that Pocono has to offer. Fuel mileage is sometimes one of those, but do suspect at least a 2-stop race.
yeah, I would say at least 2-stop. Well, yet again, also depends on how hard you're pushing here, because sometimes you can burn a lot more than what you expect.
They can also, shifting might be a possibility for some of these truckers this evening at Pocono, and green flag being waved at the moment in time. Good equal start down Long Pond straightaway.
And there go
excuse me, that's actually the back straightaway that is Long Pond, and yes, indeed, caution should be waving, could be out. Must have been a stack up or a log jam in the back of the field. Or
Terry DeGay, Kyle Gooden, and Koshik,
I think Terry just might have got hooked by Kyle. Just just one of those things. They like to sometimes fan out on these restarts, and that looked to be one of those incidences that just, okay, well, he's going to go down there. Well, I'll just try to maintain this lane, and no caution though. So everybody trying to get back up to speed. Kyle Gooden, though, he might have a load of damage because he is limping down Long Pond. On the track map there, he should be past the tunnel turn by the time the field gets to him, but Mark Koshik in the pits. I believe he was one of the 3 trucks involved in that incident on the initial start.
I would say so. But let's see, Paul Cohen, he has yet, since we've been broadcasting, he has yet to make a start. I don't know.
I think he's the race control. Don't hold me to that, but you see, some of these truckers really could be a bit difficult in the draft, in that dirty air, navigating the tunnel turn and turn 1, but more so maybe tunnel turn. If we get a chance to talk to the drivers later on, we can ask them how difficult it may be. Zach Deutscher and Paul Witt, though, 1-2. They are always, it seems, to be near each other. Jeff Gilmore, though, he's lingering in 3rd position. So the top 3 there, kind of broken away. Then you got Chamberlain, Adams, David Cassidy. He is really wheeling that truck. We saw him have a big, tight moment on lap 2 of this race. So,
well, we see that
and as we see here,
of Chris Campbell, who raced with us last night in that big field wheel. He did very good rebound. But he's currently over
yes, indeed.
P11, so that's a good start for him. hopefully he can navigate his way up to the field of 18.
And it's and it's still early on. 60 laps here around this 2.5 mile facility is actually a pretty good distance. That's like Ryan commented, that's 150 miles. So you know, that's a pretty good equal distance here.
Pretty good in my eyes, I would say.
Oh yeah, that's
Which I did
that's the actual. I was about to get to that point, man. Took the words right away from me.
I was going to say.
I was about to say that. I think you added 5 laps to your truck series when they come here. So, Cassidy really having some really dirt tracking moments coming out of the final corner. You would almost feel like he would be really good in turn 3 because that, like we said earlier, it's similar to Milwaukee, but not quite, and we know how good David Cassidy is on the short track. So, but like I said, this racetrack also has a lot of more characteristics to that than just one particular thing to try to compare it to. So.
Yes, indeed, Will. Sorry, I'm caught up between doing all this, watching the Yankees game, keeping an eye on the actual truck race.
Have they started yet? I don't think they don't start till bottom of the hour. Yeah. I want to say it's.
Wow, NASCAR switched their fucking. Oh, my bad.
Wow!
It's their thing now on their app, because now they have 3 bars there. Kind of like how they show on TV with the Cup Series, like when a caution comes out, they'll have like that little dash here. Now they have it on their thing here. That's my bad. I did slip.
Yeah, bad on you, man.
But anyway,
we could have a swear jar.
Actually practice today. It's got a good year going for him. Same with Kyle. Kyle broke the record in practice twice. So, but yet again, that comes with being off for the week, so they throw them all out of rhythm. Anywho, 7 of 60 laps complete here. How's that here?
Yes,
Go ahead.
I was going to say lap time should be about 56 seconds. I believe it was 55, 56. So almost a minute a lap it takes these trucks to get around here. Just because about topping out maybe 184, I think. Could be a little bit faster, 185 down the front straightaway if you got a tow. Maybe after a minute or so, we might do telemetry on some people. But Paul Witt and Zach Deutscher, I think Deutscher's going to have a fight, or maybe the other. Okay, yep, they are battling up in the front of the field. Deutscher taking the lead away from Paul Witt now. Paul Witt looks to either hang with him or at least stay within reason. Maybe trying to just be like, okay, go ahead. Or maybe does he want to fight him back? Looks like he's going to try to make a charge back on him. But Jeff Gilmore's still there, so that's still that 3-truck breakaway at the front of the field. The 26 and 17 still together. Still close-knit battle going on between them throughout the field. Little battles here and there. You got some drivers who just
stage break 25.
Oh, right. So I was right with the second guess of it being 25. if there was one. I said 20 or 25, so. Question is, I do believe we do know that these drivers may not have 25 laps of gas in that fuel tank, so a good possibility is maybe Jim Coleman'sberger, or could, Campbell, maybe Brown. We know how good Brown is with that strategy we've seen so far this season in the SRU Truck Series here, Brian. But who is it going to be to try to save that number, if they even can at this point? Sometimes
Cassidy?
to save. The way he's been really flinging it through the third turn, I don't know. He's been really fighting to keep the 26 ahead. Behind, but 26 finally got ahead of David Cassidy. Cavane, is that how you say? Oh no, they're still battling, I do believe.
Cavane. I think it's Cavane or Cavane. I think yours is right.
So we see fastest laps on the scoring pylon at the moment. Our recent lap, now back to the intervals. Thank you there, Brian. And
you're welcome.
Yeah, you can really see 3-truck breakaway. Like we said, these trucks, there's no saving fuel between these 3 up at the front, but maybe a little further on back for sure. I would say anyone 9th or even 10th on back could be in that saving fuel area. Don't know how much damage Terry has, Terry Duguay, from that shunt into the wall. So Karsick, he's a lap down, but he did come in to the pits, so never know there. He could have enough, and he's just on. He is the final truck coming down the front straightaway, or at least that final truck that is with all of the lead lap trucks, basically around, they're all on the same straightaway is what I'm trying to get at. Anywho, yes. So even though he's a lap down, he may be in a decent position to have enough fuel. If that could be the case, I almost don't think anybody would have enough fuel to reach the lap 25 marker. You would really probably want to cut this beginning portion of the race directly, maybe
I would say about in half.
Lap.
Oh no, you can't do it.
Yeah.
Because it's 30.
Well, I would say either lap 14 to 16.
Yeah, there you go. You can do that.
Start pitting.
I think that's why Terry came down on lap 12. So he's going to try to do that. So let's see if it works for him.
Oh,
there's that slip and
really?
Slide from the 26 to the 25 going through that tunnel turn as he slides up a little bit and clips the side of that 25. But
yeah, it's very super difficult going through that tunnel turn like we talked about. You got to be careful. Sometimes it's just better to, if you don't have an overlap on the competitor you're trying to pass. What I mean by that, if basically a portion of your vehicle is not already there and the person you're trying to pass doesn't lift, then you should probably lift and try to get them back on corner exit, or maybe going down the front straightaway would probably be the next possible pass to try to make. But always going through the tunnel turn side by side, always tricky. Can be done, but it's tricky.
We've done it before. Never. It worked out quite a few times, but then There's another few times that it didn't. So, but yet again, that's on the console side of things. This is a whole different platform than that. So, where every little thing matters.
Pretty much. Tire warmth or the tire heating on this platform really basically matters a lot. You know, you gotta really take care of your tire as best as you can. Some are able to do it at a faster pace than others. Others like to just get a better feel for the track.
Yeah, I guess it did start. That 15 to 60, well, if I'm these guys, I would come in now and start pitting. At least you want to be ahead of the current person in front of you. Try to beat them out, but well, a lot of these guys will probably take right sides in fuel, or maybe just fuel, or not, or enough fuel just to get to the stage break. I know quite a few people in this field that will do a little bit of fuel.
Yes,
two right sides. So
I would see no problem with that type of strategy, like you said, just to get to that race break. You can go a lap down here by pitting if you were so far off, if you were X amount back from the delta time that it takes to pace down pit lane, and you know, you got to have a certain gap from the race leader to maintain coming out of pit lane barely on the lead lap. It can be done, but you also have to know that gap that you need. But right now, the top three trucks, they have a 5-second gap back to Jason Adams, Mike Chamberlain. Those two are together. And then Cassidy Story, man, I said it earlier. Kaveen? No, man. The 26th. And then
I want to say it's Kaveen, but then, or Kavine. I don't know. It's one of the two, but I think I like yours a little better. So we'll just go with yours.
Normally, I'm one of the type of people that has to like hear something in order to pronounce it better or the right way. So maybe we might get to talk to him at some point and ask him truly how it's supposed to be pronounced. But really good battling going on back here where these fellas are. 8 seconds off the race lead. They're doing their own thing. They're minding their own race. Some getting really close to the wall. Casey Kanan, and oh man, right as we were talking about him, I'm going to quit that. Hopefully Paul Witt was not blindsided, or Chamberlain, whoever that was. That's obviously probably going to be a penalty of some sorts. Excessive speeding into the pits for one, but anywho, that's going to break up that battle group a little bit, but also maybe draw one or two trucks closer to it that wasn't there. David Cassidy had a good qualifying effort, but it just seemed, I think he did, or I'm trying to remember now, but it just seems like slowly but surely he's just losing a position here and here or there, and we've just kind of seen Cassidy struggling a little bit tonight. A lot of these, yes.
When did the trucks go to Digital Dash? Was it this year or was it last year?
Yes, this year.
Okay.
So I don't know if that has been updated in iRacing or not. So
no, not yet. I can see here.
I don't know if it's only one manufacturer that has it or all of them. I think it's all of them though.
I think it is all of them.
But even the ARCA cars have it. Like the Xfinity series don't. I don't get it. I don't like ARCA cars have them. Like
That's crazy.
I don't, yeah. But, so, projected green flag cycle pit stops occurring before projected race break. I really like using the word projected tonight because I can pronounce that one at the moment. Indianapolis, though, that was a tough one there for about 10 minutes. It just, it's not quite a stutter, but it's like a start, like it, that moment when you are just caught, like you just can't say it for some reason. I don't know if anybody else ever has those experiences.
Or someone catches you off guard.
What was it, Brent?
Oh.
Yeah, in a way. Yes,
Who drives
indeed.
the 45? Is that Carson?
45 is Lawless Allen.
Well, they're ready. Excuse me.
Well, hopefully Brian is okay, choking on whatever he's eating over there.
Some Wavy Lay's Funyuns flavored chips.
Okay, I didn't necessarily want to know.
Lawless Allen again. That's right, go ahead.
What happened? Lawless Allen spun out? Or something?
Again.
Man. It's like him and Stingray Robb that drives in the IndyCar series. They got to be related.
It's funny because me and Richard were like, boy, he must. His parents must have hated him to name him Stingray Allen or whatever his name is.
Stingray Robb.
There you go.
Lawless, like who? And like Lawless. Yeah. What's his last name? Allen. Oh, so. He's got a first name that doesn't even make any sense, that I guess could be a last name, and his last name is a first name. But anyway, exactly. Deutscher backed up. He has backed up his pace. He let Gilmore, at least to my cahoots, Gilmore has passed Deutscher on just possibly speculation, Deutscher backing up his race pace.
Nope, to now.
Okay, never mind. But so maybe Gilmore just up there passed him on merit. Maybe Deutscher could have scraped the wall at some point, entering one of the corners. He tries sometimes to extend the track. He's one that really likes to try to extend his entry if he can. We wasn't focusing on the front at the moment, so not too sure how the pass was made. That's why I just love to speculate about it as much as possible. So
there you go. Zach beats him off, Will. Just like that.
What, can you? Man. I wish I could reprogram you to like re-say certain phrases and stuff. Anywho.
Oh, fuck. Oh.
Stop it! We're supposed to be family friendly.
Yes. That's my bad. Caught up in the heat of the moment.
Anywho, so...
I wonder if Philip's going to do it. Philip can probably do it. Because if you did see him earlier, did you see him get down a little bit? But, alright, buddy, go ahead, you can go by me. I think Philip's going to be able to do it. Because he's got...
I don't know.
Well, we're going to go right on board with Phil. He is clutching. That's what he's doing. Yeah, he is. He's shutting his car off.
Well, I hope he started doing that from the initial drop of the green flag. Because if not, he might run out. But,
we'll see.
Hey, to be fair, he was one of the ones that was back there that had that Delta pace that I was talking about, you know. I didn't suspect Cassidy to be one to, if Cassidy isn't pitting, Adams is in the pits, so Okay, so Adams, Cassidy in the pits. Waiting to see if Philip Bridgman will bring that number 5 truck down or not.
Well,
Did you hear Kyle Larson's going to make a late model debut next week?
Yep. No,
yeah, driving for JR Motorsports in that 5 car.
Yes. Well, if I'm Philip, I'm praying for them to throw that caution now. Because, buddy, you're about limping right now. And there it is. I think he's out of fuel. Here comes Paul.
Well, no engine in the tunnel turn. At least I didn't hear it. I just heard view.
There it is. As they let Paul Witt get by him. Oof. I didn't throw the yellow. I think Philip should have been out. Okay, there you go. Philip was ahead.
Wow.
So, Philip made it a little extra laps there. Impressive. His car is still completely turned off. Good for him.
I know he was a menace sometimes racing at certain tracks on the console side of days. I can only imagine racing with him on iRacing, trying to be competitive and are just, fuel mileage. Oh, hey, I can save fuel. Here we go. Yeah. I would definitely know, oh boy, Philip's going to be finishing ahead of me this race.
Hey, he was very good on the console side of things with the fuel saving. He done it on tracks where we thought was never possible. But
oh yeah, I could save, me and you, we could save, maybe 2 laps, and then he saves like 8, and it's like, what?
Like how? If we're clutching the same thing what he's doing.
Well, I mean, people that have the clutch ability.
Yes.
Like if you just, if you can just bicycle it or pedal your throttle and save that way, or put the car in neutral or something, cool. But most of the time, it was. Anywho, they're coming down the road again.
We didn't have a clutch pedal. Well, I know I didn't. You might have. I don't know if you did. But
I didn't have the shifter. I didn't have the stick shift. I do have a clutch pedal, but don't have the stick shift.
Gotcha.
You need the stick shift to use the clutch.
I thought so. Thought so.
No, I think even still.
Pit road.
Wow. Anywho, I think even if you do still have paddles on, like paddle shifters in the clutch on iRacing, I still think you can use the clutch there.
Yes, I do believe.
Even on other games, you could. Who are we pulling in?
Phil. I can see how we done it. Done did it. There you go. No?
Mm-hmm.
Philip.
Yeah, I got you.
Wrong.
You really saved 25 laps of fuel?
Yeah, I did. I don't know how to go, but I didn't start saving until like 5 or 10 laps.
Wow.
I don't even know. Like, I don't know, but I started to save a lot. That's for sure.
I was getting a little worried. I'm like, if they don't throw this yellow, they're gonna screw Philip out of that staged ordeal. I'm like,
honestly, I was gonna dart into pits there if it wasn't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I said, in Philip's state of mind, he's like, throw the dang yellow. But anyway, we'll
Oh,
go
now
ahead.
you censor yourself. Anywho, so got yourself also track position, which something you kind of didn't really have early on in the race. So up here, going to be, I believe, third place, Phil? Second, maybe. Yeah, you're restarting second, I think, once things get sorted out. So, you going to try to stay up here, or are you going to go back to the back? What's the mentality now, Phil?
I might try to maintain here. If I have to fall back, I just might have to let it play out.
Well, 10-4. Best of luck to you, Phil. Got some momentum from last night's chaotic finish, so hopefully you can carry that one over to tonight and just keep on trucking.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir. Philip, best of luck to you, sir. You go out there and try to spank the pooch.
I'll try.
All right, brother. Here you go. Anywho, Philip there. So I'm guessing Jason, Witt, Cheswick, Campbell all stayed. No, Witt pitted. Okay, so just Adams and Cheswick stayed out. So all clear. All clear. Go to the top. I know. I got it.
Oh man, so I was kind of completely wrong. I thought Cheswick and Adams was gonna go back or cycle around or something, but yes, indeed. So I kind of lied to Phil. I thought he was going to be starting further up than that, but man, yep, a bit of a jam on this restart. But they are dicing it up. Everybody coming through turn one nice and tidy. You know, Jason Adams only pitted 2 laps. I want to say 1 to 2 laps before race break caution. So not a bad strategy staying out. Going to see how well it will do here for Jason. Jason with a late apex there through turn 3 as they make their way back onto the front straightaway.
As you see there, Jim Coleman'sberger looking to catch the back of Robert Cheswick.
Yeah, if anything, this has kind of helped Jim Coleman'sberger get away from what was going on in the back of the field. He has really gained the track position after having a feel for the track, a feel for the race, and up there in the 5th position, Brian.
Oh yeah, getting it as the 21 finally gets by Jason Adams there, as he was battling for a lap. Well, they came halfway already. I know that just sounded wrong too.
Well, you've said a few things tonight that just sounded wrong, so let's just keep adding to it. Why not?
Oh, Christmas.
Anywho, who is that down there? That is Cassidy. That is just so far away. Let me pull it up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Brown, Cassidy, and Campbell.
Yes.
That is a position back there for... Oh, that's 6th position. That's just there, right there with Jim Coleman'sberger. Robert Cheswick here. Oh, tunnel turn, congesting. Everybody kind of stacks up, kind of accordions there, but they all keep going straight. Almost a good stack up, but it was just a little bobble. Might not have looked like much, but if you saw it, you saw it. So good for you from the racer point of view.
And here comes the hard charger of Jeff Gilmore, Will.
Yeah, Gilmore was up there in the top 3 earlier on in the race, and I think just being he pitted, I think, a lap before, a lap or two before Adams, I want to say, because he pitted with Zach. So
Yes.
maybe something happened he didn't like, or he just got another fresh set of tires. Not too, not too sure why he's back there in the pack, having to deal with all of that dirty air. But Jeff Gilmore back there, kind of struggling at the moment, not able to work his way up through the field. But he's picking them off one by one though. And Philip Bridgman kind of falling back a little bit since the restart. Lost just a few positions. I kind of thought the restart was going to be a bit different as far as lineup goes, so that was my mistake. But yeah, kind of probably going to save some more fuel, be in the best position possible.
Oh yeah. Cassidy's still there. Philip Bridgman now getting a tow for the back of that 92 to bring him a little closer. Nashville. So 34 of 60 complete, Will. Just about almost to 25 laps to go. Next few couple of laps here.
Cheswick being disposed of, going to lose 2 positions almost in the same corner, but Gilmore gets alongside of him going down Long Pond. And you would almost say Gilmore would have position. He does have the racing line. As got away to Chris Brown there. Chris Brown's going to be next to try to do something with Cheswick. He makes the move going into turn 3.
Was they almost
Marsh is up. Yes, indeed. Very close there. Don't know how they didn't. That was excellent driving on both parts.
So, Will, next time by, I do believe there'll be 25 to go.
Yes. 25 to go. Paul Witt, Zach Deutscher leads this field. The SRU Craftsman Truck Series. Sim Racing Unleashed. Good battle all season between Deutscher and Witt. 2 mainstays, I want to say first and second in the point standings. If not, Adams is there.
Yes, indeed, Will. You see Robert Cheswick now fixing to pit since he stayed out that last time by. So I wonder if Jason Adams isn't going to be too far behind him.
Well, Cheswick, I want to say, pitted a couple of laps before Adams. So maybe 1 lap before Adams did. Who's ready, or are you listening to?
Oh, I don't know. I just have it on the all scan. Sorry, I was picking up my phone with a text message.
We're good. I just heard it. I just didn't,
That's all right. Well, 24 to go, Will. We're going to do... Oh, we ain't going to do nothing yet. I don't know if there was a wreck back there because my track bar did light up red, as that indicates a wrecked vehicle. Out on track, but obviously not. We will do our favorite section of the night, Will. You know what that is. The crank it up portion of the night for a couple of laps, and we hope you fans at home enjoy this little brief couple of laps of crank it up. action. That just pulled up my, my Twitch chat. Sorry, Tyler, I didn't realize that you were in the chat. My apologies.
What did Tyler say?
Chat. He's been saying a lot. Alright, we gotta get off this camera. Pit stops are coming on the way, Will. So we're gonna get you back to
Zach Boisher during this crank it up. I want to say overtook for the race lead Paul Witt coming into pit lane though. Jason Adams came in a lap ago, I do believe. So.
Jaden's pulling for Jim. Jim is currently sitting P3, so that's good for that. Yeah, I didn't realize I didn't have it pulled up on my phone, Tyler. I was too busy listening to the truck race on my phone with the in-car audios. My bad. Sorry, Will, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all good.
But yes, Will, Zach Boisher still out front with Paul Witt. I think Zach Boisher has the long-run car to where Paul Witt has the medium to short-run car. If it continues to be the way it is, well, when do you think Zach should come down to try to beat Paul Witt out on strategy? But the problem is you do not want to come down too early and then, Paul Witt come in a couple of laps after and now he's running you down and you ain't got time to capitalize at the end besides protect the lane that you run. As you see there, Gilmore got up behind the 24 hits the wall.
Yes, my mistake. I thought Paul Witt pitted, but that was Campbell. I'm mistaken those two trucks this evening. But yes, indeed, that was very tight-knit passing. Adams, I do believe here, has fresh tires, but he's just back there in a mess of dirty air.
Oh yeah, that dirty air is never good. Well, it's kind of like, well, I really wouldn't say,
Adams did pit, right?
What happened?
I said he did pit, right? Like just a couple of laps ago. Jason. No?
No. Jason has yet to pit.
Oh, okay.
At least that I'm aware of, because I think the last time he pit was right before, a lap before the stage. But now as
Must
you
have been
see
the
here,
26 at Cavang.
yes, I think it was the 26. But yet again, who knows? We don't know. But we see Witt, Deusser, and Coleman Swigger all drop down to the pits and to serve their final pit stop of the night. So, who can capitalize? So Jim with a 15.2 second, Paul Witt with a 14.9, and Zach Deusser with a 15.4. So Paul Witt had the fastest stop, but yet again, Deusser beat them off pit road. So it's going to be interesting to see where they come out. Obviously, 8th, 9th, and 10th is where they're going to come out. But now, as you see here, Will, Gilmore and Jason Adams and Chamberlain all now come down to pit. Well, what do you mean by that, Tyler? Who's Jason going to wreck? That's the problem. Who and where? And what lap? Is it on 5 to go? Is it the last lap? Or is he going to pull over and stop on the track again? No, I'm kidding. So Cassidy Will is in the front. So I like interacting with everybody. It's great.
Well, stops are the great equalizer in racing. And we will for sure see the differential.
Oh, right as we talk to him. What a save. Oof.
Incredible save, yes indeed, especially going through that part of the track, the tunnel turn. Entering or exiting, even in the center, can be very, very just ill handling because the car's got to load up and it unloads coming out of the corner, and
Sorry, I was laughing at Tyler.
just Cassidy been flirting with that disaster all night. Got really tight that time. Yet again, coming through the tunnel turn and smacked the wall pretty good. But yet again, just kept it planted straight. And that's exactly what you want to do. So Chris Brown and Bridgman last to pit. Yeah, I agree with you there. You kind of figured he was going to go a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But
well,
decided
that or
not.
take 2 tires and beat them off. Pit road. Sorry. It's just.
Oh man.
It's
just
just
a habit, man.
It is. I gotta kind of snap out of that.
Stay in certain stands.
Yeah.
Get out of that Clint Boyer mentality. But anyway, Cassidy actually going longer than anyone. But if I was Bridgman or Brown, I would have probably just took fuel only here to see where that might get me out. But
or maybe 2 tires. That's a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Because at least
you know.
right sides. At least the right.
Yeah.
But yet again, I have yet to run this track with the new tire model. So I don't know how they're feeling on the new tire model that they.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So maybe 4 tires is the correct call. We don't know. We can ask about that, and I'd like to find out for sure. Well,
I think we're going to get the chance here in about 12 or 11 laps here. Deutsch, you're going to have a lead of about 1.5 seconds, it looks like, when things come out to be after Cassidy finally brings her down in.
He did. He just brought her down. That's a... Boy,
so what's Cassidy going to do here? Like, he had a 25-second gap. That was his delta that he had opened up, I guess you could say. So if he wanted to try anything, so there you have it. But does Paul Witt have any type of 15? We do believe he has the 15 lap run pace at least, but it's after that 15 lap marker, or at least 14 lap, what's going to happen. You see, not really a big gap, but a big enough gap to, maybe be comfortable with if you are the leader of that gap from first to second. So, yeah, just over 1.25 seconds. So, I for sure did not expect this race to play out the way it did. I was expecting at least 1 caution from the sounds I was getting from a couple of the drivers I spoke to before the race. They were really happy. They normally get it out of their system in practice. Most of your leagues, they do like a little pit party. They gather as many guys that want to go out during practice together in a pack and do like a little simulation restart or start and run a few laps in a pack and get all that hard racing out in practice sometimes, or what you can and cannot do, I guess you could say, mainly out of your system in practice. That's what it's there for.
As you see here, Will, Jason Adams, P6, coming to that 10 to go mark, Will. Is he going to hard... Did I just say the Yankees up 5-2? Sorry, that caught me off guard. Is he going to hard charge to the front now since he's got some fresh tires? But from the way it looks... Oh, Cassidy fell to 11th. Oof. That's the risk you take when you stay out the longest. And unfortunately, he's now... What Cassidy is hoping for and banking on, Will, is a caution, but I believe they will not get it from the way it looks at things. Field is too spread out for sure, so maybe we'll get it, maybe we won't. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Glaciers opened that gap up to about a tenth and a half, on Paul Witt, second place. They have really good gap back to Jim Coleman'sberger. Then Coleman'sberger's got a gap back to Gilmore, which Gilmore, like I said, for some reason, he back in the rear, towards the rear of the field, and really clawed his way back to a top 5 finish here this evening, if this is how the race is going to play out and unfold the rest of the way. If it stays like this, Adams getting past Caldwell there, he just having a moment. He's had a couple this evening, but kept it going straight, so right side of that truck kind of beat up just a little bit, but it's seen worse days, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, some of these guys you would expect, to be a little bit quicker just because of the over-under when they pitted, when their competition pitted, and but as you can see, Adams trying to make up a little bit of ground, but like you said, just I don't believe there's enough time to overcome the that gap that he has for sure, and that first to second just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So
yep. So he's slacking somewhere in between those first few turns to where Zach's better. But yet again, Paul Witt can be saving a little bit of tires to actually push maybe the last 4 laps to where Zach already burnt half of his stuff up, trying to extend that gap. But we'll have to find out within that period of time and we'll have to keep a close eye on that interval as it drops or as it progresses. So, and Tyler, it's Deutscher.
Yeah, it's a whole nother second. Paul Witt, for some reason, must have had a moment, maybe bounced out of the tunnel turn wall, perhaps. Whole second basically opened up there for the race leader. So Jim Coleman'sberger, if Paul Witt has another problem, man, I know it looks like a 4-second gap, but you all about keeping your momentum up at Pocono in a sense. You want to be on throttle as much as possible, but at certain points you do have to let it glide, but you got to pick that momentum back up and carry it. Well, if anything breaks in that rhythm, like say slapping a wall or just getting loose or too tight or whatever, you got to get out of the throttle more. Well, you're going to lose ground, and that's what has happened, I do believe, with Paul Witt, at least. This set of tires obviously not working for him late in the run, and just for some reason just losing a lot of ground. But Zach Deutscher pulling away with it at the moment. 5 or coming to 4 to go, right, Brian?
Yes, next time I'll be 4 to go.
So
they're
next time by 4 to go.
Yes, they're currently on 5 to go.
I always want to get a lap ahead of myself for some reason, but
that's right.
Guess I just want it to be over that sooner for some reason, but.
So I think I know the difference, Will. Zach, when he gets into turn 1, he downshifts. To where Paul Witt just keeps it in point-blank 4th gear. Zach downshifts when he goes into 1. So he's getting that extra drive off, more of that horsepower off the turn. And that's where he's beating Paul Witt.
Well, I talked about it earlier, basically at the top of the show. Some drivers probably would, for sure, be shifting at some point in this race. And like you pointed out, indeed, for sure, what could be transpiring. It is a track in the past where It is possible. With how little RPM you get in fourth gear in turn one, that is, how much you slow up. I wouldn't even be surprised if some drivers are doing it in turn three, and this whole race has just been very bad sounding. But
exactly.
just all the way around, man.
Yeah, it's a rough start, I guess.
Racing is just such a awesome sport. You know, you can just
makes you say things that you wish you didn't say.
I mean, in a way, baseball is the same way, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Baseball is. 3 to go. This time by Deutscher.
You find me a sport that isn't, you know, well, all right, you know what I'm saying? But anyway.
I don't think there is a sport. Football is the same way. Hockey,
I would say closest battle on track would be between Brown and Chamberlain there that we are watching. Don't really see anyone else on the intervals that are close to that.
But you might as well say Deutscher's got his about 5-second lead over, which, by the way, will be back-to-back wins for Zach. And come to find out, we'll be here Thursday. I won't be here Friday next week, so unfortunately we will not be here for SRU next week. But we will be there Thursday for the B&R Xfinity Series.
So 2 laps remaining here this evening.
Boy, Zach just blown away.
Yep, he ended up being a whole nother area code from second place, man. A lot of these drivers are kind of, you know, just been doing their own race tonight. Chris Brown, though, trying to be in the top 5, having an epic battle with Chamberlain, and just now going to work on Jason Adams as Zach Deutscher going to get the white flag here. White flag lap in the air. Jason Adams doing everything possible down the front straightaway to break the toe of the charging Brown. I tell you, it'd really be something if Brown could get a top 5 here this evening, because he started, I want to say, outside the top 10, if I can remember right.
Yes, I do believe he did. Going through the tunnel turn, could Chris Brown get to the back of that 24 to slightly move him up the track? Because yet again, that is racing. As Zach Deutscher crosses the line to bring home the victory here tonight in the SRU Truck Series. This
Chris
series,
Brown not gonna get to him.
No, he can't. That's very unfortunate. Chris Brown's very good, though. He is. A lot of these guys are good. So, like I said, it's between Deutscher and Paul Witt in this series. Absolutely is.
Jim Coleman'sberger brings it home. Final stepping on the podium. Third place, Gilmore. Not, like I said, not too sure what happened to Jeff, but he rebounded to a top 5 and 4th place. Adams, Brown, Chamberlain, Cassidy, Bridgman, and Caudell rounds out the top 10.
Oh, yeah.
So you can kind of say a dominant win by Zach, because I kind of want to say he led a good bit of the race. Him with Gilmore led a few laps, but it was mainly between Witt and Deutscher. I know Adams led a few laps between that one pit cycle they had earlier. So, but it was mainly Witt and Deutscher that done most of the leading of the field this evening.
Yes, sir. Well, as you see there, Zach burning it down. Back-to-back wins here tonight by Zach. I do believe that should give him the points lead after this race.
If he didn't already have it.
Yeah.
I think he had it at one point, and then we missed a couple of races. I know myself, I was out of power last week, so...
Yeah. Well, anyway, we'll go ahead and talk to old Jim there. Hello, sir.
Hey,
Hey, Jim, how you doing, man? You somehow managed third place out of all of...
what do you
all
mean
of the,
somehow managed? Sounds like I got lucky.
No, I'm just messing. I wanted to see what you would say to that. Yeah, you got a third place, man, tonight. I thought that was fantastic. Out of you were back there at one point just lurking, and then bam, third place. Just
Yeah,
tell us how
I
you
was
did it.
saving my tires most of the time. I wish it didn't go with the stage brake because I think it would have changed a bunch of stuff.
Oh yes,
it's like
it
I
was
was
looking
telling-
like it.
I'm sorry, well, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It was like I was telling Will, I'm like, I didn't get no information on stage break, so I'm guessing they didn't have one. And then as soon as I said it, I'm like, oh, I just got a heartbreak.
Yeah, because I was catching them at the end. Like there at the that last pit stop we had to do, and I don't know, they jumped out pretty far when we came out. I know I'm not great, but I got a lot better on the pit stops, and I thought I had a good pit stop.
noticed
Next
that.
thing I know, they were gone. I was like, whoa,
Your
like what
pit-
the heck?
Yeah.
I guess they had turbo and I didn't.
Your pit stop was a 14.5, which was a 14.2, and Zach's was a 15.3. So you were about right there, but I think your pit stop was a little bit back. I think if your pit stop was maybe a little bit closer, you probably would have beaten them off. Pit road, here we go again. Will was correcting me the whole race. So
No.
I mean,
Well, that's all we heard the whole race between Zach and Paul. They kept saying it all comes down to the pit stop.
yeah, but but your pit stops are right on point with the top three. So, the top two there. So it was neck to neck. If your guy's stall was a little bit closer, I think you probably would have won the race off of the pit road with them.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it was a great race though, all in all. They were looking at what happened with Kyle and Terry, so that's what I was doing, and then I forgot I'd get pulled up here. But I guess we all backed out a little bit in the start, and Kyle went to the outside, and then Terry came up. But looking at it, could have been neck code. Who knows?
Yeah, the phenomenal net code.
Next
Yeah,
one
we
is
didn't
Richmond.
Oh, yeah,
You could take Richmond and just burn that sucker.
All right.
I'm going to lose all my tires, and I'll be in the back somewhere.
What were you going to say, Brian? I never said anything about Richmond.
No. Oh, I was gonna say we were gonna go back and watch that replay, but there was focusing on the race, and we caught it, but we just didn't see what happened. We saw all we saw was Terry go up to the wall, and Kyle was going around, and
yeah, Terry came up on me strong. I wasn't really forcing it into one because I figured they would bunch him up on the start of the race, so I was giving a little room. Terry was a little ambitious. He got to my bumper, but he lifted, and looks like Kyle was coming and tried to get around him on the outside, and whatever happened. But hey, that didn't really have much of an effect on the race. I mean, we really technically didn't have any yellows, so that was a good race, man. I had a lot of fun.
Yep. Trucks are always good.
Shout outs, Jim.
Oh, you know who I'm going to shout out to? My lovely wife, Candace.
Indeed. Always great to give the family shout outs, wife shout outs. Hello.
I got to do this too. I also got to say congratulations to Brett, my son. He graduated high school this year, so that was cool. He graduated. We're having a big party tomorrow, so no racing for me tomorrow. I'll be probably celebrating a lot, and all my kids, Patrick and Andrew, they're both good kids, so I'm very lucky.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Well, Jim, catch you Sunday or sometime next week, Jim.
Yeah, we'll see you when we see you, man.
Indeed.
It's summertime, baby. Let's all have a good time this summer. We haven't had them in a long time. Let's all, try to make these special.
All that fishing.
Gotta go fishing.
Gotta go fishing. All right, Jim. Awesome job, bub.
All right, be good, guys. Thanks again.
Yep. All right, next to Lee's Paul Witt, the Whitmeister. Mr. Paul.
Mr. Brian, how are you?
I'm all right. Well, I've been noticing lately it's the Deutscher and Witt show over here, so I guess that's always a good thing. Nothing the least. Great race, I would say. Full green. Maybe there should have been maybe a caution or two, but luckily for you guys. Yeah, I know. I know you. Where I'm like, he's beating you in turns 1 and 2. I mean, turns 1. I'm like, right now, Paul needs a yellow to get bunched back up or put some new fresh Goodyears on it or something to have any chance to run down Zach. But Zach was beating you in turn 1. You came back a little bit in between the tunnel turn and turns 3, but all of Zach's pulling on you was turn 1 from our intervals throughout the whole race. But anyway, Mr. Paul, great run tonight, P2, once again. It seems like every week that's where you sit, which is an awesome thing and great points for you, for sure. Anyway, why don't you go ahead and give a rundown of how the overall race went in your eyes and how your truck handled throughout the night.
I was pleased with the race overall. I just, at that first when I pitted at lap, I think it was 15 or 16. I knew I couldn't make it to 25, so I was just trying to dice it up, get fresh tires on, and get going. And I let Zach go right there before we started pitting. I wanted him to pass me so he'd be in front so he couldn't see me dive off, but we both had it. I guess we both had the same lap stuck in our head. And I think if he would have went one more lap, I think it would have been a different race. But being that we both came down, I get a little spooked on speeding on pit road all the time, so it usually spooks me, so I got to take it a little cautious. So and I think that's what the difference was.
Yep, he was getting in to pit road. I caught myself up. Getting into pit road a lot faster than you, but I would rather be more conservative than speeding, like you said, and speeding, get a black flag, and now your race is done. You were the fastest one on pit road all night with a 14.2. And the next one closest to you was Jim with a 14.5. And Zach was hitting the 15.2 marks, but was still able to win the race off pit road. I don't know if it's the way he's getting into his box and then a hard charge off. We don't know. But you were the fastest one on pit road the whole race, according to our pit times on the bottom there. We're like, well, if Paul Witt can capitalize now, he will have the win off of the race, the pit road, and then possibly if he can get the lead back and set sail again, this race is for his to win. Because you timed your pit road right, you had the fastest time. It's just turn 1 seemed to be your trickiness.
Yeah, that's my Achilles heel is turn 1 here. It's really rough here. Mm-hmm. Just trying to get it lap after lap after lap, and I just don't have it in turn 1. But give me a few more races, I'll get it.
I'm sure you guys come here in the Cup Series side of things eventually, sooner or later. But Will, you got anything for Paul?
Next week is Richmond there, Paul. What would be the battle strategy or game plan going into that race?
Just survive it. another short track. Just got to survive it. I'll probably get a little bit of practice in this week, just to practice it, because I usually don't run too much Richmond in that. So as long as I can stay close to Zach, that's all that's going to happen. That's all that's going to matter. Maybe he'll lose power and he won't show up next week. That's always a pleasure.
Well, that happened to me last week. So, anywho, what would be like? My apologies, stumbling upon myself. Paul, got any shout outs or anything else you'd like to add about tonight's race?
Yeah, just give a shout out to all these guys. To go caution free here is a lot. I mean, there's turn two is pretty tricky. So to get in there and go through there and coming off, not hitting the wall and bringing cautions out. These guys are top notch here, and gotta congratulate my teammate Zach there because we became teammates. So I just got into the wrong car today. Supposed to be running a Ford, but hit the wrong one tonight. So get back to the Aerokinetics Ford next week. Looking forward to it.
Well, there you go. That's a good deal on you. Zach's pretty good racer, pretty smart whenever it comes to certain things about setups like steering lock and all that other good jazz. So him and Philip, they're quite a pair, and now they've got a little trio going. So that's cool, Paul.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. I'm glad to be a part of their team and run with them, and they're gonna. Maybe Zach can teach me a little bit of tire management or something, and getting into these turns, and we can battle towards the ends.
I know I have raced with him for quite a while, that's for sure. I have given him a fight for his money at selected tracks, and unfortunately this is one of the tracks where I can do it to him. His weakness is you keep him on the outside, that's where he struggles. So any track, you keep him on the outside, depending on where it is, he'll struggle. But otherwise, Zach's a hell of a competitor, and he'll race with you side by side for a good 25 laps until either you or him burn your tires up. But I can race with Zach like that, hard and hard, laps after laps after laps, and we'll just put a good show on. We know our limits, and I don't let Zach get away easy. He knows that. So, yes, sir. Best of luck to you. Congrats on the P2. Unfortunately, we will not be here next week on Friday. It's a heartbreaker, I know. We have family plans to take the family out for my sister's birthday to Myrtle Beach, so unfortunately I will not be here. So best of luck to you next week at Richmond, and hopefully you can bring home a win.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna give it my best shot. We'll see what happens next week.
That's right. Any shout outs or loves you want to give out there?
Just give a shout out to you guys and my wife for putting up with me down here. So that's the big thing right there.
Oh, absolutely. It takes a lot of time well, I really wouldn't say a lot of time, but a lot out of your night to spend about an hour or two.
No, it's a lot of time because I'm down here running 3 different leagues. I'm practicing and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a lot of time.
All right, so I guess that works. So we'll let that say. But awesome job, Mr. Paul. Best of luck to you on the new team of the Aerokinetics. So wish you the best of luck, and maybe we'll see you in victory lane more than Zach.
I hope so. All right, man. Thanks.
All right, buddy. No problem. Last but not least, we'll let you do your wonderful honors of talking to Mr. Zach. So I'll let you do all the talking here as I did it all with Mr. Paul and some of it with Jim. So, Will, the honor of the floor is yours.
Well, hello there, Zach. How are you this evening after this win and performance at Pocono?
Can't say I'm disappointed. Great race.
Yes, pretty good race. All race long. You, Paul Witt, Jeff Gilmore up there early on. Something happened to him. He got back in the traffic. Jason Adams was up there at one point with you guys, but Jim Coleman'sberger finished third. So respectable all around with your competitors. But after that final pit stop, you came out about a second and a quarter ahead in the lead after the pit stop cycled out, and then you just kept opening and extending that gap. Just how did you do it, Zach?
It's all down to that pit stop. It was timing and putting the brakes on getting back out. And I knew where my pit stall was. I could full board in first and second, never hit the timeline or the speed limit. So I was full throttle out of the pits, and it was qualifying laps for the next 5 laps just to get that gap.
Well, I was really curious about how you were able to extend it. Possibly, was there shifting involved going through turns 1 and 3, or just diving through the center of one?
No shifting, just a tad bit of trail braking is all I did. I kept it in fourth. It's all about momentum, like you were talking about. All about momentum and keeping the throttle on.
Damn, I thought he was shifting. Going into...
Nope, I was not. I just used a little bit of brake.
That's what it sounded like. Huh. Then.
Well, like I said, Pocono, full of all sorts of trickery that you can do, or different things you got to try to work around. And definitely, everybody has something up their sleeves that they can try to do. And for sure, Zach, you have a few, just like everybody else. So excellent on the win. I would almost say dominant performance, but you and Paul Witt led almost, I would say, probably equal amount of the laps, and also count the cycle of pit stops we had. We had a few more leaders there as well. So, but other than that, it was almost a dominant performance, I would say, if Paul didn't lead, more laps than he did. But back-to-back wins. I believe you won last week while we were not here. So congratulations on the back-to-back wins, and so much momentum you were being able to carry at this moment. This has just been a good spiel of races or tracks for you in the leagues that you were competing in.
Yeah, we'll definitely have the momentum on our side, and I'm hoping we're going to keep this going for every other league too.
Well, Zach, I'm not sure. I don't think we're here next week, but still, nevertheless, what are you going to be focusing on going into Richmond next week? That short track.
Richmond is honestly kind of like this track. It's all about momentum and knowing where to use the brakes a little bit. It's a fun track. I love it, especially in Xfinity, but the trucks is a lot of fun too. So hopefully 3 in a row we're going to get next week.
So looking for 3 in a row. Why not? Ron Hornaday back in the day did, I want to say, 5 in a row. So that would be something cool to go look forward to, a 3-peat. I will definitely keep an eye and ear out for that. So any shout-outs you'd like to give, Zach?
Hell yeah, to you guys for sure. You guys do a great job broadcasting the week, and we all truly appreciate my teammate Paul racing there. A lot of fun with him. Always goes second. Philip got another good top 10. Wish he was up here a little more, but top 10's a top 10. SRU, great league. Anybody should join it, and that's about all I can think about. OL Connects, obviously, my team.
Yes, indeed. Got to get the team name in there. Thank you, Zach, for coming and talking to us about your win here this evening, about the race that you were a part of. Appreciate it. And hopefully, like you said, carry that momentum forward and just the rest of the season throughout.
That's the plan. I want that W on the championship.
Yes, sir. Awesome job there. I'll get him next week, and we will catch you on the flip side.
Heck yeah. Thanks for the broadcast, guys.
You're welcome, sir. Best of luck to you. Go burn it down with a few more.
That's the plan.
All right, sir.
Doc.
All right, well, you know what to do. Go ahead and close her out.
Yes, indeed. It was a pretty interesting, intriguing race here this evening at Pocono for the SRU Truck Series this evening. And myself and Brian Hunt would like to thank each and every one of you for coming out, tuning in to the BNR Racing Network, and enjoying yourselves, rooting on your favorite SRU competitors. And congratulations to everyone that raced tonight. Good field of drivers. And Zach Deuscher, Paul Witt, Jim Colmansberger, podium finishers, and won't be here next week for Richmond, but like we said earlier, should be here for the B&R truck race and hopefully Xfinity, but if not, that's still understandable. So looking forward to the upcoming races still to go. So hopefully everybody has a wonderful and good night.